Oh, wow, look at the helicopter.
So, is that who I think it is?
He's actually back.
You really think he will come? After 10 years, he is still the class loser. Tyler's voice cut through the group chat like a blade. They laughed as they hit send on the reunion invite. Not to reconnect, but to reopen an old wound. The plan was simple. Get Jamal in the room, poke the same scars, and watch him shrink again. Some people never grow, Tyler said. He will walk in looking broke and grateful just to be seen. Jamal Carter saw the invite at the end of a long shift, sitting in a worn delivery van with the engine ticking hot. The screen was cracked, but the words were clear. 10-year reunion. Everyone is coming. Would love to see you. He felt the old school name tighten his chest before his mind even caught up. His body remembered that place better than any photo ever could. The bleach smell in hallways, the slam of lockers like warning shots, the laughter that followed him as if it was his shadow. The name they gave him back then, class loser, like it was the only thing he would ever be. He stared at the message and understood the game right away. Those names were still sharp in his memory. Tyler, the ringleader. Brent, the loud echo. Kayla, the smile that hit a cruel punch. They had made a sport out of his quietness and his poverty. They mocked his worn shoes, his thrift store jacket, his stutter when nerves got the best of him. The teacher saw it and looked away. Classmates looked away too, because staying silent was safer than getting dragged in. Jamal almost deleted the invite. He almost did what he used to do, disappear before they could push him out. And his eyes fell on the little photo tape too. His dash, his mother in scrubs, smiling through exhaustion. She had worked nights, held 2 jobs, and still found the strength to sit with him when he came home bruised in ways she could not always see. When he wanted to quit school, she told him one thing he never forgot. Your story does not end where they left you. It ends where you choose. Jamal typed a calm yes and drove away into the evening like a man making a quiet decision. The reunion night came wrapped in luxury. A hotel ballroom with chandeliers and soft gold light, nothing like the gym they once ruled. Yet the same old energy filled the space. People walked in wearing their best outfits and their best masks. Old photos were pinned on boards, faces frozen. In teenage smiles, adults laughed with the hunger of people who wanted to prove their lives mattered. Conversations swirled around careers, houses, vacations, and who aged well. Success was the only language they trusted. Tyler stood near the bar, still tall, still smug, still wearing confidence like armor. He watched the doors like a hunter waiting for easy prey. Brent leaned beside him, joking about how Jamal would probably show up begging for a drink. Kayla rolled her eyes and said he might not even afford the parking. Their laughter was loud, and a few people joined in, not because they were cruel, but because old habits are comfortable even when they are ugly. Not everyone laughed. Some looked away with guilt they never learned to name. Some remembered Jamal's quiet kindness, the way he never fought back even when he had every reason to. But most people stayed in the safe middle, the same middle that let the bullying live back then. Jamal was late on purpose. He wanted his entrance to feel like a choice, not a stumble. He stood outside on the private helipad behind the hotel, the night air cool against his face. 10 years ago, he would have walked into that room with his shoulders up around his ears, bracing for impact. Tonight, he felt steady. Not because he forgot the past, it's because he survived it. The helicopter swept in over the tree line, lights cutting through the dark as it descended. The pilot stepped out, nodded, and handed Jamal a headset. Jamal climbed in without hesitation. Not as a guest, as the owner. He didn't need a speech for what he was about to do. He just needed to arrive the way his life now moved. Above the old noise, inside the ballroom, they heard the rotor sound first. The music kept playing, but heads began turning. People drifted to the windows, confused, curious, excited. A helicopter landing behind a class reunion felt unreal, like a rich stranger arriving for a private event. Tyler smirked, ready to use it as another joke. Then the doors opened. Jamal walked in with a calm that stunned the room before anyone recognized him. He wore a clean black jacket, fitted to his shoulders, and shoes polished like he respected himself now. His face was older, stronger, and carried a quiet confidence that did not seek permission. He didn't scan the room like a man hunting for approval. He moved like a man who already knew what he was worth. Silence spread table by table. Whispers died mid-sentence. The reunion stopped breathing. Jamal went to the name tags, picked one up, and placed it on his chest. Jamal Carter turned toward the crowd, and the recognition hit them like a wave. People stared as if they were looking at a ghost that had learned to live. Tyler forced a laugh to pull the moment back under his control. Jamal, man, look at you. What is with the helicopter? You borrowed that from some boss? Jamal met his eyes. Without anger, without fear, without a smile. It's mine. His voice was calm enough to make the words heavier than a shout. Brent tried to recover with a smirk. So you got lucky or what? Jamal took a slow breath. I started a company. I was broke. For years. I failed more times than you can count. Then I worked again. Now that company is worth more than this hotel. The helicopter is just transportation. A ripple went through the room. This was not the punchline they ordered. This was the twist they never imagined. Kayla's mouth open, then closed. How did you even do that? Jamal didn't brag. He spoke like a man answering a child. I stopped believing the things you all told me about me. The sentence sliced deeper than any flex, as it turned the spotlight back where it belonged. Tyler's face tightened. Come on, we were kids. We were joking. Jamal nodded once. I know you were kids. But those jokes almost buried me. Some nights I didn't want to wake up. Some mornings I looked in the mirror and believed you. You don't get to call that nothing. The room held its breath again. No one cheered. No one booed. They just listened. To a truth that had no place to hide, Jamal looked around, then back at them. I didn't come here to shame you. You already know what you did. I came because I left this school thinking I was nothing. Tonight I walk in knowing I was never nothing. That was your lie, not my life. He turned away before they could answer. Not running, not proving anything else, just closing the door on the part of his life that once caged him. People began to clap softly, not as a show, but as a release. Some stepped forward with real apologies. Some stood quiet, wishing they had been braver back then. Jamal accepted what felt honest and left what didn't. He wasn't here for revenge. He was here for freedom. Later, as he walked back toward the helipad, the hotel behind him glowing in smaller light than it once held in his mind, he felt the weight of 10 years fall off his shoulders. He didn't need their respect to be whole. He only needed to remember that he outgrew every label they tried to trap him in. If this comeback hit you, comment where you're watching from and tell us one time you proved people wrong. Subscribe. For more stories of quiet strength and the wins nobody saw coming,